one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wonder what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by I've traded like the hills to play. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I could have known. One street over there's a life I could have known. One beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist.
Good morning. How you doing, Robertson County? This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah Laverne. This is one street over. Oh, getting their gears going on a Thursday morning. Just a little programming note. Now I'm headed to Mexico. Leave in the morning, less than 24 hours. I'm already checked in. I'm in the A list. If you fly Southwest, you know what that means. That's so good. But as we're trying to kind of get set going here, had a few little technical difficulties on my feed, not the other feed. But if you're watching via social media, thank you. And you can check us out on my Facebook page, Laverne, U-Turn Laverne Vivio, or you can go to the WSGI Facebook page. We have a feed there as well. And of course, you can get the app for Ebenezer Broadcasting. And you can listen to us anywhere. I'll be listening down in Mexico because I want to get my Christian radio anywhere in the world, and I can do that whether I be up in my husband's hometown, just south of Lake Superior, or if I'm down south of the border in Mexico, I can listen to 1100 WSGI because we have a worldwide Christian broadcasting here to that news broadcast. Isn't that cool? So with all that said, let me introduce my guest. Y'all know her. This is Miss Sarah Head is in the house. How are you doing this morning? You got to pull that microphone right to you, miss, and get that microphone up there. And so thankful for you to come in today. And you're going to have to get right on that microphone. There you go. Yeah. And turn it down to where it's like right on your mouth there. Yeah, I know you just have to get right on there. But I'm so excited because you're doing a two-part thing for us today. You've got on your Robertson County Players t-shirt. And, I had forgotten y'all were in production of the play until Penny reminded me. And so we've got the play to talk about, but you're also a stop on the Seeds of Hope.
Yes, so I'm so excited about this. This is the first year
I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain.
Yeah. And that's if you want to go to Martha's Song, I'm going to get you to pull this microphone. Switch your microphones for me while I'm talking about where you can go to get tickets. You can get tickets at the Martha's Song Facebook page. And if you're familiar with Eventbrite, that is a great place to, you can just go to Eventbrite, put in Seeds of Hope, and you'll get your advance tickets. $25 for adults and 12 and under free, right?
there are so many
I'm
places
so excited
that
to
are
be a part of
included
the Cumberland Connect community.
people's
And
homes
you can
and
be
yards
too.
always
If
look
you're a
so
Cumberland
beautiful.
Electric customer,
Now
you
get a
will
chance to
have
go and
access
visit
to
those
high-speed,
yards and see what they
affordable
do, and
internet. It's just a matter of
it's
time.
just
They may only be in
incredible
your
what works
neighborhood.
at
If you want to check it out, go to www.
And we were talking about the
CumberlandConnect.org.
UT
Put in your address and
extension,
see.
science.
They may
Oh, I
be
can't
ready to
remember the
come
name
and
of it.
install
Experiment
wonderful
Experiment
high-speed
station is
internet
what y'all called
for
it when you were
or can
younger. I
Right,
know, but it's
right.
changed the name.
Right.
But talking about how many people in the county that have never been there.
I have been thrilled
You know,
with my
had
internet
never.
service
Well, in your
ever since
place,
I hooked up with
people.
Cumberland
I've heard
Connect,
about
because
shade
it's a
tree
public
farms, but
utility.
I've never had the
If you're somebody
opportunity.
that's having
You just
some
never.
problems financially,
I came
maybe
out
you're
there and got
struggling a little
some
bit,
cider.
they can help
Yes.
you out
You know,
with the Affordable
and I've
Connectivity
done that a
Program,
couple of times
providing
for my family
qualifying
because,
households
oh
with
my
monthly
goodness,
credit
it's just the
to help pay
best.
for internet
And,
services. And if you're eligible,
and
you can
it's
get
one
up
of
to
those things
$30 per
until
month
you
toward
hear
broadband
about it, but
services.
then you have
It's
to have
a
an
public
intention.
utility
It's like,
now.
I'm going
They want to
today,
help
and
you
once
out.
you see what you
So
got out
give them a
there,
call today.
it's just so cool. what
Cumberland
you're
Connect,
doing, and
1-800-987-2362.
but there's so many places like
And
that.
tell
There
them
are,
you
there
sent
are.
you.
Places
It
like
is,
that.
and of course we're not close to anything, so
Yeah.
and a lot of people will call before they come to be sure we have what they're
Yeah.
looking for because we aren't close to anything. But we've grown. We opened in 2009. Our store did, and we've grown every year, and it's just been a wonderful experience. So right now we have nothing is ready to pick just yet. I was hoping there might be
Looking back on all
blueberries.
the chances that
People are
I
welcome to walk
missed.
through the blueberry patch and
Some
down to the
I
orchard.
held
We
and
have
slipped
apples growing and
away.
peaches. It's just a beautiful time. We also are passionate about day building, so they're going to be beautiful Saturday. All the neighborhood
Oh.
people. It's going to be really beautiful.
It's a beautiful day. I mean, it's just going to be a wonderful day. I love this idea. When Penny mentioned it to me, of course, I was like, I'm going to be in Mexico that day. So but all these places, I'm going to check them off, and I'm going to do my own little tour and go see everybody. Now, the Grays, I know I can go see because they're friends, and I've seen their beautiful garden. It's spectacular. The private gardens on there, I'll have to call and say, hey, can I come see your garden? I'm going to talk my way in. But I'm going to get on it. I'm going to go ahead and, even though I can't go, I'm going to buy a ticket. And I haven't done it yet, Penny. I'll do it today. But I'm going to get my ticket because it goes for such a worthy cause.
Yes,
You know.
it really does. And they used to do a dinner, and it's just, I don't know, it breaks your heart
Yeah.
every time, but it is a very, very worthy cause. And I can't, I know you may know more about Martha than I do. Who she was. Why it's named.
Well, and Penny talked a lot about Martha yesterday, and I met Martha because Penny's my hairdresser, has been for 100 years. We decided yesterday we were trying to figure out how long it's been, and so I've met her, and she was one of those that I remember first time Penny introduced me to her. She was doing something for people who they were dealing with cancer because she'd been through it and she was trying to help them walk the walk. And then when she developed cancer again and then passed away, they wanted to honor her. And that's where the whole idea for Martha's Song came along. And, I have said that I understand completely because my mom's walking the walk right now up in Kentucky. And she got her wig yesterday. I cannot begin to tell you the difference in her just, she just feels so much better about herself. Just being able to kind of feel more like me while I'm going through this treatment. And, that's expensive. We're blessed that my mom can handle that cost and things like that. But there's a lot of people that can't. Because wigs and things that you need, there's this like little port pillow thing that you use and there's all kinds of little things that you need when you're walking through a cancer journey to help ease the path. And it's expensive, and that's what Martha's Song is all about.
Yes, and I think it's a shame, but I think all of us know either we've experienced ourselves or know someone who's been through it.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine.
Yeah. No, not at all. And in the Martha Song program, if you're not familiar with it, it is a program for anyone in Robertson County. If you're dealing with cancer, you can get funds to help you. And I mean, you just every time if you have more than one incidence of cancer, you can go and get assistance again. And they'll give you all the particulars of it. You can go again to the Facebook page and check out Martha's Song to find out all of that. But this is, we've had fashion shows in the past. Mm-hmm. This is the first year for the Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. It is going to be a wonderful day. I think there's 8 stops, right?
8 stops, and they're all wonderful. They're just all exciting. Mm-hmm. And I hope it's a success because I can't wait to see what the next date will be next year. So because the ones that they have this year are just going to be amazing.
They really are.
I know of the Grays. I know the family, and then the Hannabuses on North Main Street. Their home is always beautiful. So.
I've heard a lot about them, and I'm not familiar with that, but I want to go check that one out too. So I'll be knocking on your door when I get back from Mexico.
They live in one of those historic homes there.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And then the Justices out in Cedar Hill. So if you get all the way out to the Justices, you're not that far to come on down to Shade Tree Orchard.
Of course.
And see our farm.
So talk to me about what you're going to do tomorrow for Seeds of Hope. So this is Thursday.
Don't scare me like that.
No, my flight leaves tomorrow at 5:15, and so I'm already. You know how that goes. And I apologize, guys. I tried to bring I had to leave my computer at the church yesterday because they need it while I'm gone. And so I am unable to get online to check my messages. So I'm so sorry I can't talk with you like I normally do on social media, but I appreciate you being there. The things that you're going to do on Saturday, not tomorrow, for Seed of Hope, when I come by your place, what can I expect?
Well, something we started a couple of years ago, we started making cider donuts. So we're going to have the donuts, and everyone that comes to visit can have a donut and either a cup of cider or a cup of coffee.
Okay.
And then you're welcome, like I said, to walk down through our blueberry bush, our patch, and see the blueberry patch and walk through the orchard and see what's growing out there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
a cider donut. Oh, yum.
And the playground would be open. People can come and you can bring the kids and just let them play. And our store will be open. So it's just going to be a day of business at our farm. But hopefully people will come and want to take a walk through the orchard and see what it's like. So
it's going to be just beautiful. And, while you mentioned cider, talk to me about this. Is cider, do you have it all the time now, or is it particular in season? Because I would have thought is it specific to a season? How does the cider production work?
Well, we only make it during apple season. But then at the end of the season, we make an abundance and put it in freezers.
Oh, good.
Freezers, so we have it all year round.
That's kind of what I thought you told me. I remember being out there and you were talking about how that you do, preserve some, and it's wonderful. It is, if you've not had their cider, oh my goodness, you just don't know what you're missing. It is fabulous. It is so good.
Well, thank you for saying that. We don't pasteurize. We don't do anything to it. We literally crush the juice out of the apples and put it in jugs, and that's all we do.
It's just so good. It's just
about
so
as
good.
natural as you can get.
You better believe it. Now, I have not had one of your donuts. I'm going to have to make a particular trip out just for that. Do you have those all the time?
No, We've been doing last Saturday of the month. We've been making donuts.
Last Saturday of the month. Okay. So I know when to get out there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Because I am. I'm going to go around to all these places. Even though I can't be there Saturday, I'm buying my ticket because it's a good cause. And then I'm going to, of course, the public ones I can easily visit. But I am going to knock on the private homeowner. Jenny just came in. I'm going to be like, can I come see you when I get back from Mexico? Because I really want to see these gardens.
Oh.
I need some inspiration. I've got a beautiful, beautiful place, but I've got some things I could do. I'm putting things together for photography, and I would love to have. I want blueberry bushes too. I'm getting off track. I really want to. We've been trying to grow fruit trees, and we've got several. And my husband's been out there talking to y'all
Yes, he
about
has.
the things we need to do. Because we've got 3 or 4. We don't have many, but just for our own private use, and we want them to be successful. And we have just a terrible, terrible time with blight and pest and blah.
Well, it's very hard to grow fruit in Tennessee.
Yes,
And we fight that every year.
I'm sure.
And especially with the apple trees that
Yeah.
we have this year, they're looking good. But every year we just cross our fingers
Yeah.
and hope. And
Pray.
well, that's true, of course,
for
of
the
any
harvest.
crop
Yeah.
that you're at the mercy of Mother Nature for sure. But fruit in particular, and that's why there are not very many orchards around here.
Yeah.
We would love for there to be other orchards as well, but it is harder to grow fruit in this area.
Yeah.
So, but we keep trying, and
Well, y'all do it beautifully.
oh, thank you.
You do a great job. I mean, if you haven't been to Shade Tree Orchard, you just don't know what you're missing. It is just a wonderful little treasure here in Robertson County. That's, again, what I love about the Seeds of Hope is it gives you an intention to go out and see these treasures. Oh, and you're going to be on Talk of the Town. I think tomorrow, maybe Jenny will know about that, but they're going to talk about Seeds of Hope on Talk of the Town. And so
Yes,
I'm
they
hoping
are.
we're going to have a whole lot of folks come in here and get into this because it's just such a cool thing.
It is, and just to get more people to come up to Robertson County, it's
Yes.
just a beautiful, beautiful county. It's one of the prettiest spots in the world.
Yes,
So
it is.
We're very
Yes, it
lucky.
is.
to
Yes,
live
it
in
is.
such a pretty place, and to be able to showcase some of these homes and gardens. It's just
Great blessing.
It is, and I hope more people will take advantage of it and go see these beautiful spots that we have in our counties.
For sure. Sarah Head's my guest, and we're talking about her stop on the Seeds of Hope Garden Tour. You can go to Eventbrite right now and get your ticket. Put in Seeds of Hope, Martha Song. It'll get you there. $25 for adults, 12 and under. They're free. Be a great day for your family to really see what we've got with Rob. We do the Discovering Robertson County, is it, that they do with the chamber in the fall. And this is kind of a preliminary for that. This would be a good way because you're going to see places that like you would see on that, but very specifically to help you with your gardening. And my son, I keep saying this, I've got to get my son Jeremiah out here because they've got this beautiful canvas yard that they need to turn into something beautiful. And they will get so many wonderful ideas
Yep,
if they come out and check this out.
Of course, the Corbin Creek Nursery is one of the stops
Yes.
on there. So you need to visit these yards and then
Yes.
go to Corbin Creek and buy your.
Well, and here we go. Let's just go right ahead and let's do our ad for Corbin Creek. My friends at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center, they are one of the stops on the tour of gardens as well. And again, just like the Shade Tree Orchard, you're like, I keep hearing about that. Well, this is your chance to go and see them
Yes.
as part of the tour to help a worthy cause and to get something beautiful for your home. Go to their social media page. Oh my goodness, there's so many beautiful things. Anything that's going on out there, they're going to throw it up on social media, Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening, and you're going to find all the beautiful things that they have in the greenhouse. They took a shot of the greenhouse yesterday. It was just absolutely gorgeous when you walk in there, and it's something different all the time. So go by, get something beautiful. It is Father's Day weekend, y'all. You could go to the tour, take your dad out. Your dad would love this. I know a lot of men that really love this stuff, and take them on this tour, buy them something beautiful at Corbin, and go inside. Maybe let them check out the things that they have that are CBD driven. I have terrible arthritis. CBD products really help me. And if you want Robertson County CBD products, that's where you get them. Her brother Bill grows the plants. They process that into all the things that they sell. Can't say enough about Corbin and how much they mean to me. They've been a longtime sponsor of our program, and we just want you to go out and see them. They're in their summer hours, 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday, 1 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need, great presents and ideas for dad. They're at 4920 Highway 161, 4920 Highway 161. If you want to call them, 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. And as always, let them know that you sent you. Talking with Sarah Head. She is not only the proprietor of Shade Tree Orchard, but she's also with Robertson County Players. So let's talk about the play now. And then we'll let Jenni continue on Seeds of Hope. But so what's going on with the play? What's the name of the play?
The name of the play is Once Upon a Mattress, and it is a musical, and it's based on the fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea.
I love it.
And the premise is this is a small kingdom. There's a king who is mute and a queen that's very overbearing, and they have this one son, Dauntless. And they have made this law that no one in the kingdom can get married until Dauntless finds a wife. Well, the queen really doesn't want Dauntless to find a wife.
Of course not.
So any princess that comes to try for the hand of Dauntless for marriage has to go through a test. And as the play opens, the 12th princess is being tested. And, of course, she fails. So this 13th princess, Winifred, shows up, and she swims the moat to get there. So she's different. And
Swims the moat. I love
she
it.
swims the moat, and it is just a wonderful, funny musical. I have some of the best singers around that are in this show, and I am so lucky to have the cast that I do. And Eric Wilson, who teaches down in Greenbrier, he's our music director, and we have just a stellar cast. I have a wonderful producer, Rusty Riddle. And we open tomorrow night. We're at the Innovation Academy, and we'll be running Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday matinee. Another good thing for Father's Day is bring your dad to see the show. And then the next weekend, the same thing, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday matinee.
Okay. So that's one thing. In a lot of the plays, we've been doing a Thursday schedule and one matinee. We're back to Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday matinee, right?
Well, that's the schedule we chose. I don't.
Okay.
The future plays may do differently, but that's what we.
Well,
chose.
no, I think it's the summer too.
Well, that's
because I
true.
think that it's because of the school year that sometimes you have to adjust the schedule. But I think the last couple of plays have had a Thursday night show, but no, and this is perfect. This is summer, so that makes sense. And I love that you've got 2 matinee options because that means I can go next Sunday. I'll be back because and actually. I think we get back on Friday. I might even be able to make it Saturday. So we'll come out because I love the plays and I love that Dr. Wilson is your music director. He works with me at Greenbrier. What a wonderful, talented man.
He's amazing.
Wow.
He's been great. We were just, I just can't believe we got him. So
I
he's
know.
just done a good job. So.
Well, Greenbrier High School, we're all going, I can't believe we've got this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's so talented,
Yes.
so talented. So, yes, he is brilliant. And I definitely, he was mentioning it to me and because I knew he was helping with the play.
Yes.
And so he's been talking to me about it. So I'm excited to see it. And I just think this. And so you're the producer then.
I'm director.
You're the director. What am I thinking? Of course. You're the director. And you said Rusty is your producer.
Rusty's the producer.
Okay, very good. So how big is the cast?
There are about 25 people in the cast.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
we have, there are some in here that have done several shows that are in the show again. I mean, are doing our play, but we have a cast of people that most of them have been in shows before here at RCP. A few newbies, but it's varied, it's diverse, and they're so talented. It's just every time I hear them sing, I get chills. So.
Well, and that's what just really, when we went to Secret Garden last year, was it Secret Garden? That was it.
Yes.
I was blown away
Yes.
by the vocal talent.
Yes.
I was just absolutely blown away.
Yes.
Riley Bowers
Oh.
blew my mind. I've known that kid since he was little bitty, and I had an opportunity to meet with him just a couple of weeks ago about something, and I told him, I said, wow. I mean, wow. Incredible. But that's just gives you an example of the kind of talent we have. I don't think Riley's in this one, is he?
Riley's not in it,
No.
but Gary Noel that he sang a duet with in Secret Garden.
Oh, wow.
Gary's
Yes.
in it.
Wow. He's
And
fabulous, too. Yes.
He is. He plays the jester. And
Yes.
then Virginia Ross, who played, she was the nursemaid. She had a solo in the second act of Secret Garden.
Yes. She's wonderful.
She's our Princess Winifred.
Oh, wow.
So,
oh, my goodness.
yeah.
See, they're all, I know these because I've heard them and they're
Yeah.
fabulous. We've got some amazing talent in this
Oh.
area.
It's It is
It's incredible.
It is incredible, and it just I'm just so lucky that they're in our show.
That's wonderful. And here again, newbies to Robertson County and Robertson Countyans that are here that, like we were talking yesterday, they have never been to the UT Extension Science. I can't remember what the name of it is, but all these things you haven't done in Robertson County, and one of them, I guarantee you, for a lot of Robertson Countyans, I keep meaning to go to one of the Robertson County Players' plays. I hear they do plays. I heard they're really good. Here you go. Do it.
Yeah,
but
please.
it's another thing that we hear about, but we never get around to doing. And
I think
now's the time.
People think community theater.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And that has a connotation to it to a lot of people. Oh, it's community theater. Oh.
Oh, I love community theater.
We have professional sounding singers, and
And I think the proximity to Nashville doesn't hurt us at all.
Yes.
Because, that is, I think, a big part of it is that, we're just so close to so much talent. And, it's incredible. It's incredible stuff. So how do they get tickets?
Well, you can go to the website, Robertson
Okay.
County Players, and you also can get tickets. There's several outlets. Oh, boy, I know White Jewelers and Home and Jewelers. I think Public House has them.
Okay.
There's several places around town that have the tickets there. $7 in advance and $20 at the door.
Okay, say that again. How much is it?
17 in advance and then 20 at the
Yeah, because I heard $7 in advance and 20 at the door. I'm like, wow, that's a big. I thought I was pretty sure it was 17 in advance, but I was making sure and clarifying that. So 17 in advance and then $20 at the door. You can go to RobertsonCountyPlayers.org or is it .org, isn't it? RobertsonCountyPlayers.org. They've got a Facebook presence. You can usually find links there. All those things. If you Google Robertson County Players, you'll find it. And again, always specify Robertson County, Tennessee, because there are other Robertson counties across the nation. But you will enjoy it. I love this. The Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon
a Mattress, based upon Princess and a Pea.
Yes,
this will be a lot of fun.
And it was a fun play. Carol Burnett did it. This was her.
Yes.
She was on Broadway. This was her big break to do this show. And then she did a television version of it.
Yeah.
And you'll see that when some of the songs that Winifred sings, you can
kind of see Carol in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I had forgotten that.
Yes.
I had forgotten that was her launch. And because I've seen it, because I just love her. And I think it'll just be wonderful. It's going to be a wonderful day. So tell them the times of the play once again before we transition into.
It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday, 7:00 p.m. performances, and then on Sunday, 2:00 matinee.
Okay.
The same thing next weekend, Friday and Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. Father's Day weekend, you guys. Father's Day weekend. Great time to get Dad, take him to the Seeds of Hope on Saturday, treat him to a play on Sunday, get him some treats during the Seeds of Hope. I'm sure there's wonderful things. I know there's wonderful things in your store. You've got such fun novelties and just all kinds of fun stuff. And what would be one of your favorite things in your store?
One of my favorite, well, there are two things. Mm-hmm. We have Gaiman Pottery out of Adams makes our mugs.
Oh, wow.
And they're beautiful. And I asked him not to make them, I didn't want them all just alike. And he said, thank you, because that's easier just to make them freeform, but they're beautiful. And then Tom, my husband, his brother Larry is a woodworker, and he makes the most beautiful dough bowls and trays, toys, and they have become, they're just beautiful. He does beautiful work. Some of the dough bowls are made out of cedar, and they just smell so good. So
I want one.
So,
I want one right now. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
So those are two of my favorite things that we carry.
I love that. I love that because I make a lot of sourdough around the holidays. I don't really do it unless it's, getting into fall. Then I start my dough again, and that's what I do. And yeah, I need a dough bowl.
And Tom will be around Saturday if people have questions about growing fruit trees and things like that. He'll be around to answer questions.
I love it. Well, I'll get my husband and I our tickets, and he can just go without me.
Well, your husband's always been a great cheerleader for us.
Yeah.
We appreciate him so much. So.
And he reminds me all the time because he gets on social media much more than I do because I put the show up and then I don't get back on there. But he'll share your stuff. And that's something we forget to do, guys, is when something's going on locally and you see it, don't just go, oh, that's nice. hit the share button, hit the like button, and that helps get the word out about what's going on in Robertson County. I'm neglectful about it as well, but my husband is very intentional about it because he loves to promote the things. He loves you guys, and y'all have just given him such great advice on his, bless his little heart, his apple trees. they're showing potential this year, but they're not there yet. But they're showing potential, and so I'll try to get him to come out there on his Father's Day weekend without me. Hopefully, my children will take care of him. But thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Robertson County Players play starts tomorrow night. 7 p.m. on Saturday as well, and then the matinee time again.
2:00.
2 o'clock on Sunday. The schedule repeats next weekend. I'll see you next weekend for Once Upon a Mattress. Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. We're going to continue talking about that with Jenni here in just a minute. Thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
So much.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. And I'm going to do an ad and let y'all make the switch.
All right.
This is 1100 WSGI, as you know, and we want to talk about Veterans Motorplex. Here is the deal. This back page of Let's Talk Trash. Debbie's going to be so proud because I have been talking about her paper like crazy. This is the Keenan Group puts this out, and they do it every other month, I think, or no, once a quarter. They do it once a quarter, and they put this out right at the end of the school year. Well, on the back page is a $40 value, and this will get you, and it'll get up to 6 kids and 2 adults into the races for free. You can use this throughout the 2023 season. I know that Dr. Causey was in here on Tuesday, and he said, hey, I got a stack of those up here at Central Office. So if you want a copy of this, there's your little tip. Go by the Central School Office, and they've got something in the lobby because Dr. Causey, he would write an article in this. Of course, this is his last one because he's heading out to new opportunities. But whoever becomes our new director of schools will be responsible for writing that little article to put in there. Come on in here, Miss Jenni. But this is a great little publication, and they've got them at the Central Office. But the value on the back page, $40 is what this is worth, and that will get again up to 6 kids, 2 adults in for free at Veterans Motorplex. Racing starts at 6 p.m. every Saturday through October. Gates open, I think, at 4. You will have so much fun. They got a great concession stand. Come early. You can follow them on social media by going to Highland Rim Speedway. And then you'll see the banner that says Veterans Motorplex. That's where they kept the social media page because they had so many followers, but you'll know you're in the right place. It's got Veterans Motorplex, Jesus is Lord in there. I love it. Jerry, going to get some Jesus on you too. He's just such a good spiritual man, just such a good Christian guy. Love that guy. He's a veteran as well, and he wants you to invite you to come out to his place. And this is at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. You can give him a call, 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725. Always let them know that you turned attention. Thank them for sponsoring One Street Over. Jenni Justice is in the house. How are you doing? I'm doing very good. Get up right on top of that microphone for me. And I'm so glad to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you too.
I don't think we've met yet.
No, I don't think so.
When you texted me yesterday, I was like, because so many people around town, I think, well, I thought I knew you. But anyway, tell me what just welcome, and thank you for being a part of Martha's Song. And so tell me, we're going to switch gears. We've been talking a lot about Seeds of Hope because it's such a worthy thing. If you missed the first part of the show, I want you to go ahead and unpack again for the folks that might just be joining us here at the bottom of the hour about what the Seeds of Hope Garden Tour is about, who Martha
Parker.
Martha Parker. I didn't want to say was because she's still with us.
Sure she
she's
is.
in spirit.
Sure she is.
And just kind of unpack all of that for us, so in case somebody's just joining us, and let them know what's going on.
Well, Martha Parker was a delightful person and just did a lot for breast cancer. She was a breast cancer someone who had been diagnosed with that.
Mm-hmm.
She helped a lot of people through Northcrest. And then they started several years ago, the Martha Song fundraiser for breast cancer. And I think it's for anybody who's been diagnosed with any type of cancer, they try to help out because Martha was such a very helpful and giving person.
Mm-hmm.
And so they usually do or have done in the past fashion shows.
Mm-hmm.
So this time they started the Seeds of Hope. And I've known Penny Callis all of her life. And so she, kind of sent me a message and said we were kind of thinking about this and doing different garden tours. And, how about you? And I thought, how about me? That's interesting. So but anyway, I'm just a gardener with a lot of flowers, I guess.
Yeah.
And a wannabe flower farmer. I'm not anything like a lot of the people in Robertson County are. But so I agreed, and it is going to be, there's several stops. Sarah was just in here. So Sarah just is about 5 miles from my home place. And so they can hit Sarah and Tom and then come to our house.
Yes.
And it's my home place where I grew up.
Oh, how cool. I didn't know that.
It's my home place where I grew up on Carr Road, and it's between Wessington and Glen Raven. My mom and dad bought the place in 1955. It's a historical home. And they restored the home, and my mother was a big gardener. She was in the garden clubs in Springfield many years ago. And my dad was a farmer, and then he did a lot of vegetable farming. So growing up there, we were part of all of that.
Yeah.
But the Seeds of Hope tour is several stops. There's
8
Corbin.
different stops.
There's 8 different. Corbin Creek is on them with Amy. Our Robertson County Master Gardeners have a garden out at the Highland Rim Research Center. I think Bob talked about that yesterday.
Yes, he did. And I appreciate you for getting the name, because Penny and I were like,
Well,
Highland Rim Research Center.
Penny and I know it as the experiment station.
Yeah, that's what Sarah called it too.
Yeah, the experiment
Yeah.
station, and so that's where the Master Gardener garden is. It's really a unique place, and if you want to see how irrigation works, we've set up some irrigation with different plants and things. So it's a neat place. It's a great place to stop too. There's a lot. Beth Hannibus was in our Master Gardener class, and so her house is on it, and I think
she's just in the historic.
she is.
district right
She
there in
is.
town. Yeah.
She is. So if you want to see a nice, quiet, tranquil place, I think Beth is the place to go. I think Dr. and Miss Gray are
yes.
on it.
Have you been to theirs?
I have, but it's
Oh,
been a
my,
long time.
It's beautiful.
It's been
I
a
haven't
long
been in a
time.
while either, and I just love. They're the ones who got me on fire for ivy. I
Right.
love ivy.
Yep.
And I started, putting that in just around my house, and of course the polar vortex took all my hanging ivy.
Well,
Took it out, so it's coming
took
back.
a lot of
out.
things.
Yes, it did. That's just been
It took
blowing
a
my
lot of
mind.
things. A
Yes,
lot
it
of
did.
things.
Well, that's just a chance for something new. Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
tell everybody. You just,
Exactly.
I didn't realize how much the ivy on my house was damaging my house. It was really
it
damaging
does.
my house.
It
I loved
does.
it, and it was cool. And my kids thought it was creepy, but I just really loved it because I had this ivy just draped
Yeah.
on my house. I loved it, but it's gone. But now we can make some repairs to our house
Sure.
that we were needing to
Sure.
do. My husband's like, oh, I'm so glad it's gone.
Well, it's hard to get rid of once you have it.
I love it though. I do. I just love it.
It's a snake magnet for me. I'm not.
Also, I like snakes. Snakes are good.
Well, they are, but I want them to go someplace else.
Yeah, I don't like rodents, and they take care
Sure,
of rodents.
absolutely.
I can't stand mice, and that's why I like snakes. They're our friend. I had just a garden snake or something. One of my children was trying to catch to take to his house. I'm like, get your hands off
Yeah,
my
my snake. Well, I have one that lives in our pool house in our equipment room.
Yeah,
So when I open up the doors, I'm always looking
just make some
for
noise.
my buddy,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, okay, I need to do my job in here. So
know where you are.
you just stay over there, and I'll do my thing, and I won't bother you if you don't bother me.
That's hysterical. I love it. I love it. Jenny Justice is with us, and we're talking all things Seeds of Hope. This is my last show before I go to Mexico, and I just love that Penny got us some folks in here to really talk about this, because this is such a worthy charity. And as we've talked about a couple of times, if you know anyone, not just people with breast cancer, anyone, men, women, anyone that's dealing with a cancer diagnosis, they can file for help through the Martha Song charitable charitable organization. I can't find my words today. And, COVID kind of set us back a little
Sure.
bit. You had to change and go. You were under the umbrella of North Crest, and then you had to change and do your own nonprofit. And that's happened now. It's just wonderful. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful charity. It's so funny. We were talking about some of the early fashion shows. Leanne Morgan was at one of
Yes.
them. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And I remember Penny, because she had me host it, and she's like, oh, there's this girl I grew up with, and she's a comedian. And now Leanne's huge.
Right.
She's gonna
Right.
she's gonna have her
She's
TV.
still an Adams girl.
Oh, I love it. She's gonna be a TV
Yep.
star. I
Yep.
can see, never mind, I digress. Anyway, but that's the history of the Martha Song Foundation. Is we've been doing this for a while. So if you went to one of those fashion shows, same charity,
Right.
and it's the same cause, and it's just getting bigger and better for anybody that's had a cancer diagnosis. And talking with Jenny Justice here. I want to talk about you being a master gardener because you're a master
Yeah.
gardener,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Let me go ahead and do one of my ads here, and we'll come
Okay.
back and we'll reset
right.
and talk about that and continue with our conversations regarding all things Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. Go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. It's Saturday. It is Saturday. You do not want to miss it. Great outing for you and your dad. And then you can go to the play on Sunday, like
Sure.
Sarah mentioned. So it'd be wonderful. But let's pause for a second and let's talk about my friends Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Just great friends. And with them being part of Exit Realty, what does that mean for you? It means that you can come in and talk to them about anything in regards to real estate, whether it's if you're buying or selling. Do you want to be a part of a real estate team? They can mentor you. If you're wanting to, do a job change, they'd love to bring you in and talk to you about what that means. If you want really great pictures and videography, how about drone footage for your property when you're going to sell it? Making sure that people see it in the best light possible. That's Barry's specialty. He was a vice president of a media marketing company for 17 years and went full-time with real estate about 5 years ago. And Rebecca, same thing. She came out of a radiology career and went into real estate a long time ago because she was one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. They know their stuff. They're part of the community. They're in Cross Plains, been there for over 27 years. So they specialize in Robertson County properties, but also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or you can just give Becky a call at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know U-Turn sent you. Talking with Jenny Justice today. She is one of the stops on our Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens happening on Saturday. Go to Eventbrite to get your tickets, or you can, it's like Penny was saying yesterday, if you get up Saturday morning and you didn't think you could go and you're like, I can do this, just go to any of the stops and your house, Shade Tree Gardens, Corbin Creek, you've got the Highland Rim.
Research Center.
Thank you.
Master
I can't
Gardener.
remember that. You can go there. You can go to the Gray's house. Those are the ones that are just off the top of my head.
Mona and Dan Hitch are on it too. With
They're on there. Oh, Southside Drugs.
Yes,
And
Drew.
you can go there and get a ticket. Any of these places, you can get a ticket day of. So
Right.
it's $25, all going to an amazingly worthy cause. We want you to be a part of this. It's going to be on Talk of the Town.
Oh.
Is it? I don't know what, I forget. Penny will probably put it up on comments and I can't see my comments, but they're gonna feature the Tour of Gardens, talk about it on Talk of the Town either today or tomorrow. So
Okay,
tune
great.
in for that.
Great.
And that'll be wonderful. And it'll just kind of tease it and hopefully bring some new folks into Robertson County to see
Sure.
what we've got going on. I asked you the question, you're a master gardener. What does that
Yes.
mean? What does that even mean?
Well, being a master gardener is, and I think Bob explained a little bit of it yesterday. You have 40 hours of classwork, and it's tough. I mean, it's a lot of reading.
Okay.
Love it. I just loved it. I couldn't wait for each meeting that we had, and Bob is a great leader. And then after you finish your coursework, then you have 40 hours of volunteer time.
Oh, wow.
So you
Okay.
have to volunteer, at there's lots of ways to volunteer, whether we had a plant sale the 1st of May.
Okay.
So that's a way to volunteer. Anytime you, go, if I were to come to your house and say, you said, what's going on? Or I want to start a butterfly garden here. What would I, how would I do that? So maybe I could help you with that.
Okay.
And then we do 8 hours of continuing education classes, which are, you can do things online. There's plenty of stuff out there. Go to different events across the state, or even the Nashville Lawn and Garden Show is a great place to learn things, and you can count those as continuing education. So
Okay.
I've gotten all of those done. So
Let me clarify then. So you get you do the initial classes and
Yes.
then to continue to keep your certification as
Yes.
master gardener, you do continuing education.
you are an intern, an intern until you finish your classwork.
Okay.
And then you do your 40 hours of volunteer time and 8 hours of continuing education. Once you reach all of that, you become a certified master gardener.
Okay.
So,
Outstanding.
yeah,
And-
I encourage anybody to do it.
Uh-huh.
I this was the second time I had taken the class.
Okay.
I took it one time several years ago, and my children were so busy, and I just never could finish the 40 hours and those things. But so I just had taken the class. But I've always loved gardening.
I think that's wonderful.
I've always loved it.
I love that you shared the history of your homestead, that it's the place where your parents invested
Yes.
the time and restored the
Yes.
property, and you're still there.
Yeah.
That's such a gift. What a beautiful
Well,
thing.
it
I love
is.
that legacy.
It is, and my dad was a huge farmer and a huge vegetable gardener. He loved to bring 5-gallon buckets of produce to the back steps, and it was now our turn to
Yeah.
can it and freeze it and all that. And my mother was a huge gardener. She just loved flowers. I can remember going to church on most Sundays, and she always had a bouquet of flowers for the altar at church.
Oh.
From her garden and stuff.
How
and
beautiful.
so it's it's just something that's kind of it's just there, and we've wanted to preserve it. I couldn't do it without my sister. My sister lives with Mom and my brother, and so I just couldn't do it without her. She and I go around, and Mother rides a golf cart and
Oh,
kind of points and
what
directs and stuff.
What a
so.
wonderful gift. That
And my
is
dad
beautiful.
is even buried in the cemetery because it's a historical home. There's a cemetery. So he's buried there. So I told my sister not too long ago, we were planting tomatoes, and I said, okay, Daddy's screaming at us. We're not doing this right.
Uh-oh.
Or we always say, okay, keep the raccoons out of the corn, Dad,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's one thing I was talking with Bob yesterday. I love to garden. I truly do. I got frustrated because of all the animals. We live in a beautiful wooded area, and the deer would be like, "Thank you very much. This is a nice
Yes,
buffet.
nice,
I'm
thank you."
enjoying it." I would go out and I'd be like, "Oh, it's just about ready to pick," and I come out the next day and it's gone.
Gone.
Just gone. Those deer, those little varmints. I had a couple of magnolia trees years ago. They ate one of my magnolia trees.
They'll
And
nothing is really deer proof. They say
Yeah.
it's deer resistant,
Yeah.
but we have trouble with rabbits and coons.
Yeah.
I had some plants outside my greenhouse that I was hardening off before I put them in the gardens, and came out one day and
Just yum, yum, yum.
yum, yum, yum. They were all, it was like even our peppers that we had started from seed, because a lot of our stuff we do start from seed.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh my gosh, you little
Yeah.
varmints.
Yeah, yeah. And you love the nature and the wildlife, but man,
Yeah,
when you're
go
trying
eat something
to,
else.
yes, it does get frustrating.
does. It
And
is frustrating.
I'm going to go at gardening again. I'm not this year. Well, of course not this year. It's rather late to do anything. But I miss it. I want to have gardening. Bob was talking about the little Three Sisters thing.
Yes,
They're going
yes.
to illustrate, because I absolutely adore squash. I love fresh squash. And that's been a frustration for me because of the bugs. And
Yep.
I'm going to figure it out. I love to grow pumpkins. Same thing. I've set all that aside because I had so much trouble with pests, but I know we can conquer this because I see others do it. I want to grow watermelons, but and I would love-
Succession plant.
Yes.
We do squash too, and I was like, Bob, the squash bugs are just ugh.
Yes.
But we just pull it up and put in another one.
Yes, that's
Just
pretty
pull
much
it
what
up,
you have to
pull it
do.
in another one, and,
Yeah.
and keep on going. So, because it's just a battle. It's a battle, and I've never found
Yeah.
the right solution for that.
Yeah, it's tough, and
It is.
now, and so you just have to stay diligent, and just remember, it's just so much better when it's fresh and it's out of your garden. It's better for you. It's more nutritious. Just all the things, all the things.
And then I have the flowers that are right beside it, so you attract all those pollinators that you need.
Yes.
For your gardens and stuff, and that's fun. That's fun to watch.
Talk to me about the because that was the next thing I was wanting to jump over to. Is you were talking about butterfly gardens, and what is your favorite butterfly attractor? You think?
Zinnias.
That's what I was going to say. I was wondering.
And zinnias have we can plant zinnias. We have such a long growing season in our area, but it's fun to watch the butterflies
Oh, they're fabulous.
and the bees and stuff. And sometimes my granddaughter was out the other day, and she wanted to pick this one zinnia, and I said, well, now there's a bee on it, so let's let the bee have
Yeah.
so let the bee have theirs, and then we'll come back to it. But
Yeah.
zinnias are a huge attractor. Butterfly bushes, cosmos, snapdragons, but zinnias are probably one of the best. I haven't gotten into butterfly weed yet. I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying to grow some butterfly weed for the monarchs and things. But it's just amazing to watch the pollinators.
I want to get back in. When I first moved to Robertson County, for a couple of years, I had a really nice garden and then just got, just
Sure.
overwhelmed with stuff. But I had a zinnia garden several years, and I've got one of the most beautiful pictures of my 28-year-old son standing by it's just a beautiful picture. And so, because I do photography now, I really want a zinnia garden
Sure.
to do photography with. And I don't want a huge patch, but what would you recommend as far as buying seed or harvesting seed, saving seed, heirloom seed? How do you grow your zinnias?
By seed, and some I save the seed,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just kind of think, okay, let's save the seed and see what happens, and
Mm-hmm.
plant those. As a matter of fact, I'm giving away zinnia seeds
Oh,
on the stop.
oh,
I'm
wonderful.
calling my zinnia seeds of hope. So
I love that.
I've got some zinnia seeds that I've saved that I'm putting in little packets for people to take if they want.
Uh-huh.
I get my seeds from a lot of different places. Johnny's Seeds is very reputable. Baker Creek.
Oh, yeah.
If you want Baker Creek, they have a lot of heirloom seeds, different kinds of things that you
That will
can't
come
find
back.
anywhere really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use gardenersworkshop.com. Let's see, Baker Creek, Gardener's Workshop, Johnny's, Eden Brothers
Okay.
has
Hadn't
some
heard of
great.
Eden Brothers.
Eden Brothers has
Okay.
some great seeds. Matter of fact, I just got more seeds, from them. So I've just planted some other zinnias for later on
Okay.
this summer because zinnias will grow right until frost.
Oh, you bet. They're hardy.
And they're cut and come again. So,
Yeah.
they just keep on growing.
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful. So I most start all of my seeds, all of my plants. I usually start from seed. I usually start about February.
Mm-hmm.
Now zinnias I don't start till about May, but my cool season flowers like snapdragons, stock, Sweet William, those kinds of things I start in early February. A lot of those things they want you to start in the fall because they're called a cool season hardy annual, and they'll go through the cool season. I did start a lot of that, but that polar vortex took out the majority of it.
Oh, it was crazy.
It
That
was.
something else. That was
So,
something else. Yeah.
I kind of had to start all over again in January, February, but they've done well. They've
Awesome.
done really well. So,
Explain to people, you mentioned heirloom, and let's just, in case somebody's listening that doesn't understand, when we talk about heirloom seed, what are we talking about?
heirloom seeds are seeds that have been passed down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't normally grow heirlooms. I just don't because I don't have any. Baker Creek seed is probably the best place to get heirloom type seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a whole lot about them just because I don't grow them. Most of mine are not heirloom.
Mm-hmm.
If I had some, I would definitely, it's just something that's been handed down.
Mm-hmm. And it's one that you can reseed. It's one of those things that typically.
Yes, you can save seeds from it.
save
And most
the
things you
seed
can
and-
save seed.
Yeah. Well,
You'll save seed and get the same, I believe you get the same plant again.
ideally, and it's the same thing with vegetables. If you can get
Right.
a heirloom squash,
Or an heirloom tomato.
yes,
A lot of people
then
do
you
those.
can take
Mhm.
and get the seed from that, and you can replant it, and it'll grow again and
Mm-hmm.
again. Because years ago, guys, they didn't have
didn't
a
have-
seed catalog.
That's
and
right.
They couldn't go. You figure 100 years ago, it wasn't that you went and bought seed. Maybe there was some supply, but it hadn't been that long ago that's how you kept your seed. Is you handed them down. Oh, do you have any tomato seed? Yeah, I've got some, and you would share it, and that's how you grew your plants. Now
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons why tomatoes have gotten gargantuan, because you get the hybrids and
Right.
all of those
Right.
things. And my daddy's proud of me. He's up in the cloud of witnesses going, "That's my girl," because I know enough about farming to understand that part of the hybrids and the heirlooms and all that. But a lot of people, they see that and they don't really understand. They don't understand annual, perennial, hybrid, heirloom, what that means.
And I
so-
believe it's the hybrids that, they've bred them.
Yeah.
They've taken the best of this and the best of that and gotten
Mm-hmm.
a new seed. And sometimes when you plant those, you might not always get what you got.
Yes.
You might get something from the parent or one of the
Right.
parent seed and stuff. So, if you want the the main one, you need the heirloom.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so-
And Penny talked a little bit about this. They were talking about a pecan tree that her
Right.
dad planted and how they had to graft in one that's a producer
to
And
get the
it's,
seed.
It's all fascinating. This stuff is
is.
just absolutely fascinating. And you can, all these folks that are going to be on this garden tour, they are passionate about it. They can answer a lot of your questions. If there's something that they can't answer, they can point you to Bob over at
Right.
Highland Rim, and he can probably, being that he is the master gardener trainer,
Sure.
he would probably be the expert on this tour, I would think. But I know all these folks that have spent their life just kind of loving gardening, and well, it's like I was talking to the Grays. They seem to have a specialty with native ferns.
Sure.
And everybody has their thing
Right.
that they're just really good at. So you're going to have to hit all the gardens to find out all the different things because we all have our passion that we dig into, and that's the thing that we become expert in.
Well, it's very interesting and it's always changing. I've never done the same thing twice. I know, I've already started making my list of what I'm not going to grow next year and what I'm going to grow more of.
Sure.
What's done well, you got to keep good notes. Those tag labels are very, very important. The right plant, right place. I think Bob talked about that. We talked about that a lot in Master Gardener, where you've got to have the right plant for the right place. Don't put a shade plant or a perennial of any kind in the sun. It'll croak. But the Master Gardener classes are just so full of information. And I just learned, I learned a whole lot. I think anybody that's a landscape person ought to take those classes just because you deal with all kinds of things, anywhere from the soil to the pests to why this, not only with the plants, but there's so much more involved, in all of that. And like, Sarah and Tom have the fruits. We talked a lot. We did a whole session on fruit trees and things like that and how hard that is to grow, and with the pest and everything. But it's a lot of fun. It's just, and we met so many people. That was one thing in our class, we had so many people that weren't native Robertson County people.
Oh, that came
have
here
moved
for
in.
the master. Oh, okay, yeah.
That moved into our area, or moved here to Tennessee. And, it's a different way of gardening than it is like in California, or some came from, the north and things. It's different. It's very different. So it's just great. It's just great.
It's so much fun. And this is going to be a great tour, great thing for you to do for Father's Day. The Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. It's benefiting Martha's Song. I'm going to do my last ad, and then we're going to come back and just recap and remind you how to get tickets. And just cannot say enough about how you need to be a part of this. And if you're like me, I'm going to be on my mission trip, so I can't go, but I'm still going to buy tickets because it's a worthy cause. And then I'm going to go and do a self tour when I get back of all the public places. And then I'm going to call my friends who I've met and said, "Hey, can I come over?" And off the schedule, as I'm winking at Jenni over here saying, "Hey, can I come to your house?" I've already talked to the Grays about that. But anyway, so we want to remind you to also go to our sponsors, Cumberland Connect. If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, well, guess what? You're going to have access to high-speed internet, wonderful internet service, and you can join the gig club. It is something, it's so funny. Most people get a gig. My children laugh at us because they say, "That's like filling a bathtub with a fire hose. Mother, you don't need a gig." But then I ask them what they have, and they have a gig. So why can't I? So be a part of the gig club. It's only $80, and you're going to get a gig of internet that's going to blow you away, especially if you've been in a rural area like myself and have had terrible internet for a very long time. Going from a 3.5 upload speed to in the 600s, are you kidding me? Fabulous. It is wonderful. And if you're a Cumberland Electric customer, you're going to have access. So how do you find out if they're in your neighborhood? Go to their website, cumberlandconnect.org, put your zip code in, and it will take you, and it'll say, "Oh, we're already there, just register for an appointment." Or it'll say, "Well, we'll be there in a few months." Or if you're like Senator Kerry Roberts, you're going to be the very last house. Poor guy. That is one of the things. It's definitely no favoritism here, because our state senator is going to be one of the last ones because he lives so close into town. But you'll find out exactly when they're going to be in your neighborhood. You can also give them a call at 1-800-987-2362. Or if you are, saying, "Hey, $80, that's a lot. I can't afford that." Well, there's an affordable connectivity program providing qualifying households with monthly credit to help pay for internet services. And if you're eligible, you could receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward broadband services, and they've got packages starting at $30 per month. Cumberland Connect, one of our full-time sponsors here at One Street Over. When you contact them, tell them U-Turn sent you. Miss Jenny, let's talk one more time about how they get tickets for this wonderful event.
It's Eventbrite, I think. Is it Eventbrite?
Right.
And you can get a ticket. You can also get a ticket the day of at any of the stops. But it's Eventbrite, or here's a QR code.
You'll find that around town. Just hit
Right.
the QR code.
Right. And you can buy your ticket, and then it will give you all the places and the addresses for all of the tours. And you can go at your own. You don't have to, if it's self-guided. If you want to go to a few places and then you can't make the others, that's fine. It's just come and go as you want and stay as long as you want at the places. I'm hoping that I'll have some master gardeners who are going to volunteer to kind of help
Oh, wonderful.
show people around the gardens and answer any questions at my stop that are there. And it's just be a fun day just to get out. Hopefully the rain holds off.
Oh, of course. And
We'll have a good tour.
Even if it does get a little rain, I love a little summer rain.
Well, it might cool us off.
Honestly and truthfully,
Sure.
I love
Sure.
summer rain.
Might
It's
cool us
just
off.
wonderful. So that's rain should not hurt this. Rain
No.
should not hurt this at
No,
all.
we need the rain.
Anything
So
else, it'll just refresh it.
Right.
And it'll just make it wonderful. Just go prepared, and just great stops. Going to get some zinnia seeds if you want them at Jenny's stop. Sarah was talking about having the apple cider donuts.
yum.
Oh my goodness,
Yum.
so much fun. Go check it out. Eventbrite, go to Eventbrite, get your tickets for Seeds of Hope, the Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens, and then you can go to Martha Song Facebook page for all the details. Stay up to date and be watching Talk of the Town today or tomorrow. I forget which one, to find out more as well. Thank you, Jenny, for coming in
Thank you for having me.
so much.
Appreciate
And
it.
thank you guys for joining us for One Street Over. That does it for me until I get back from Mexico. Lee Marie's going to be filling in and taking care of all the things here at 1100 WSGI. God bless. Keep us in your prayers as we travel south of the border. God bless. Have a wonderful day.